What's up, everybody? I got a special guest for our video today. My friend Joey B. We are going to talk shit for the next 15 to 20 minutes about how kids today just train like little bitches in the gym.
Okay, good. So that's around 3 reps.
Oh,
now
3 reps?
You usually go a little bit higher than that.
Come on, we're gonna work on your strength. It's only 22 pounds.
I think that's if you're here for some entertainment and some fun, came to the right place. Because Joey and I, we just became friends recently over the whole like controversy with Nippert and all that stuff. We both made videos on it, and I really like Joey's videos and his message that he has. And I'm like, dude, we should collab and we should just start talking about some stuff that's happening in the space. And so we might do a few videos. First one, we're gonna talk about just like overall training mentality in the gym nowadays. But you know, first things first, Joey, what's up, bro? Welcome to the channel.
Thank you, man. Happy to be here, bro. Thanks for spending some time with me, man. Really cool stuff. You've been on my feed for years, and so now I'm actually getting to speak to the man himself.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, you know, just been hanging around in this space for 16 years, like a fly on the wall.
just a fly on the wall, bro. That's it. You know, that's all you are. You know, you only got some of the best, most informative information on YouTube, but fly on the wall.
Appreciate that. I appreciate that. And you've had a pretty big transformation yourself. By the way, obviously, I'll post a link to Joey's channel down below. But before we jump into the topic, maybe real quick, just talk about your journey. You had a big weight loss that you did, and that's what really got you into fitness. So yeah, take it away, man.
All right, cool. Yeah, so it's really nothing crazy. But I've always been an overweight guy ever since I was a kid. I remember when I was a kid, I weighed something about 200 pounds when I was like 15.
Huge.
Yeah,
so
huge.
Fat.
Just all fat, bro. Just all fat.
I would have made fun of you.
Honestly, I made fun of myself every morning when I put my shirt on. I all day at school getting bullied for it. And when I hit high school, I was like, okay, I got to do something because I'm not going to survive. And so I started training. And so I was still pretty heavy, but at least I got like relatively jacked underneath that fat, and nobody would bother me at that point.
Well, you know what's interesting about you saying that, because there's so much truth to, like, I'm not advocating to like bring bullies back, but I wouldn't be the person I am today if I wasn't bullied and had the shit kicked out of me all through middle school and high school, right? And I wasn't fat. In fact, I was on the opposite end of the spectrum. I was very skinny, very small. And my older brother, I have a brother who's 2 years older than me, him and his friends would just constantly pick on me. His friend Jimmy, I remember, and we laugh about it now, he would literally just beat on me at the bus stop with like rolled up cardboard for fun, and they'd all laugh about it. I remember one time playing football with my friends in our backyard, and they decided to just hold my arms out like a cross and start kicking me in my back and chest. And I went inside the house and I told my stepdad what happened. He's like, well, if you don't want to get hurt, don't play with them. And that was like, that's like such a general 90s like parent response. No, you're the problem because you're in here crying like a little bitch. Just get out there, handle it like a man, and grow. But I saw a meme, and it was like, Biff was the good guy in Back to the Future, because like he was always picking on everybody doing weird stuff that was like not normal, right? Trying to maintain normalcy in the high school. And I've seen a lot of people posting on Instagram. This one guy, he was like 150 pounds overweight. He's like, I was fat, and then I was bullied, and then I lost 130 pounds. And he's like, that's what worked for me. And so it's this weird thing where, and my brother tells me, he's like, you would never be this fitness icon that you are today if me and my friends didn't pick on you in high school. And the up thing is, he's right.
Wow.
And this actually is a good transition into what we're going to talk about today, because we're going to talk about like training intensity in the gym and how kids nowadays, like, they literally brag on Instagram, all I do is 2 sets of 10 reps.
It's around 3 reps.
3 reps? I like to feel the pain.
It's only 22 pounds.
We got like calves next? Like, what are we working?
Calves next, man. We still got another. We got another. Yeah.
Oh, hell no.
You want the good news or you want the bad news?
Bad news, man. What's up?
Okay. The bad news is you're weak at this.
All right.
So didn't go crazy. Just going through learning process. We learned a lot of things today.
So I'm really excited for. I'm excited for the grind. That's where I, kind of make myself an outlier. Whenever, it's time to put in the work, that's where I kind of specialize, and I just lock in and just do what I need to do and more. You know what I mean? We got like calves next. Like, what are we working?
They train with no intensity. Maybe you and I trained harder when we got into the gym because we were just so angry at the world and we needed an outlet. Like literally just needed an outlet for all that anger. So it wasn't 2 sets of 10. It was like 100 sets of 6 to 8 reps, the shittiest form with the heaviest weight, going in there with my Discman that was skipping, you know. Anti-skip didn't do shit, and I have my Disturbed CD, and I'm listening to Down with the sickness. I'm curling this weight.
Bro, you're bringing me back to my life, man. You're bringing me back. That's insane.
And it's just like, I miss seeing that mentality in the gym. And the reason why I think it's so important to have this mentality when you go to the gym, and the reason why I get really irritated with a lot of science-based training, like there's obviously science in proper form. Like science will tell you need to lift heavy, you need progression overload, you need to make sure you're eating enough food. Certain exercises provide more growth than other exercises. If you're going to the gym and you're doing just chest flies, thinking you're gonna get a big chest, well, you're kind of dumb because science will tell you you need to be doing heavy bench pressing, whether it's barbell, whether it's dumbbell, right?
Right.
And we didn't really have access to that when we were kids, Joey. We had access to like a gym with shitty weights and dirty gym equipment and all the big dudes in the gym telling us, go heavier, go heavier, go heavier. Kind of like that video you did on that gym in New Jersey.
Right.
And maybe we can start talking about things from there.
This ain't no regular gym. Workout, bro. Get him the out of here. I don't know what I'm doing here.
Today you need to be a part of the crowd. Wake the up.
No. What the hell is this?
Well, as far as Diamond Gym goes, that video that we kind of did on that, basically everything you just said is what these guys are trying to preach. And when we spoke the other day, I was like, listening to you speak about your mentality on training, and I've always heard you say you got to lift heavy, you got to actually put some effort in, like you can't just be sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah.
But you resonated with their vibe. I'm no joke, dude. You resonated with their vibe. If you went to their gym, I would be astounded to see what you end up pulling out of yourself, because you're already like almost there.
We're going Hundies next. Yeah.
I think if I went to their gym, I would be rooting them out harder than they would be rooting me out, honestly. Because I grew up in that environment. Dude, when I was 14 years old, I talk a lot about my favorite exercise being overhead tricep extension. The guy who trained me was a monster. He would make me do this with like a 120-pound dumbbell when I was 14. Clearly, I couldn't lift the weight. Clearly. Right. He was lifting the weight. He'd be like, yeah, Scotty, lift that heavy weight. Push that heavy weight. And what it does to you mentally is it turns this switch of and that's what my favorite Dragon Ball Z character is, Broly. Because Broly has no limit to his power. He just laughs and gets stronger. And like, even though he's evil, he doesn't see anything as a ceiling. He just gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And that was the mentality I grew up with in the gym, was like, okay, like there's people here stronger than me and bigger than me, but I can get in here and I can lift just as heavy and push my limits. And the Diamond Gym guys, and you could see it like with Hussein.
Keep it going. I don't give a fuck. Keep that going.
I'll take those. It's finished. It's finished.
Keep fighting, bro.
Show me you got it in.
Just keep fighting.
Show me you got it. There you go.
Ho.
Yeah, nah.
Throw that shit up there.
Show me you got it.
Get it up there.
No, you got it in.
Fight.
Show me you got it in.
Fight. Strong five, Hottie. Stand up.
And then they did Will Tennyson, right?
Come on.
Probably the farthest I've ever pushed my legs in my life. I'm not even seeing normally right now. Next set. I don't know.
Let's go. Get up!
guys had never experienced that kind of culture before of just dudes telling them to push their limits. That's the culture I grew up in. That's why a lot of my workout programs, my best programs in my 5-day bodybuilding split, which a lot of people grew up with, like the generation that I kind of raised when I first started my YouTube channel, you know, they talk about my drop sets. Like, oh my God, your drop set workouts are so insane. And when I teach people to do the drop sets in my gym today, they're like, oh, are we just doing a drop set on one set? No, we're going to do a drop set on every exercise on every set. And they're like, what? Holy crap, that's a lot of volume. Yeah, but it works.
I mean, there's always 2 ways, 3 ways, 5 ways, 6 ways to skin a cat. Drop sets, I was talking about them the other day in one of my videos. They're absolutely applicable. It's a way to keep going. It's a way to push yourself. Many people, like, for example, we did some videos on Julian recently on the channel, Julian Fitzgerald. In case you guys don't know about him, check him out. He's big, hot subject right now. And so those videos have taken off pretty good. And what I basically see with him is the mentality of, don't get me wrong, you see him lifting heavy. When he does, he usually has horrible form. I'll give you, though, you're lifting heavy, but he'll do 2 reps, stop before the burn starts, and he's done. Or maybe he'll do 1 more set. So he claimed to warm up with 90-pound dumbbells, and even Larry Wheels was like, what are you doing? They were warming up, right? And he's warming up with these 90s. So he does 2 reps, he's finished. And if I remember correctly, there were so many clips in that, but at the end of the day, Larry's like, oh, you're only doing 2 reps? And he's like, yeah, you know, that's all I need.
Let's get it. Come on. Yep.
Come on.
Yep. Yes.
1 more.
Last one. Yep. Finish it. Yes. All right. Hell yeah.
Perfect.
Light.
Yeah, so that's what you're looking for. Nothing too heavy, but just heavy enough to give you that pump. Because again, we're only doing around 2 sets with each one, so you want to make sure you get the most out of it without pushing yourself too far.
And it's crazy, bro, because no, you can be training a lot smarter. Lower the weight because you can barely lift it. Do more reps, do more sets, and do proper form. Like, bro, you can push yourself hard, but do things right. Julian ended up telling his trainer, his new trainer, Hani Rambod, I can't train triceps because of my joint pain. Bro, you're 19 years old. What joint pain? Yeah.
Go for around 3 to 4.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Perfect. Good, let's go up.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Doesn't feel right, but.
Yeah, okay, so with this one, it is going to be a little bit of discomfort on your elbow, just a tad bit. But when you get your second set, and now go away completely.
You said that a bunch of different exercises you didn't really feel, right, in your triceps.
Yeah.
Which ones would you normally do, just so I know?
Okay, so because of the elbow thing, I was trying to find what I could use to still work, have a tricep centered workout without so much joint pain.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of a telling sign because you know your joints and tendons, you know, if your muscles are outgrowing your joints and tendons because of reasons.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, and that's
what a lot of people don't realize too. And that's, you know, I try to tell these young kids in my gym because I know, you know, they are on gear because they tell me. And I'm like, dude, you guys, you know, your form is shit and you're lifting so heavy, you will snap something. Like, that's how you are going to snap something because, like, I've been lifting since I was 12 years old. I'm 40 years old now, right? And I walk, yesterday I was training back. I think I might have told you this. And so I started doing just bent over barbell rows. And I threw on 225 and I was doing like 10 to 12 repetitions. Pretty good form, a little bit of momentum towards the end.
Sure.
But like that was my warm up. Like I warm up still with weight that's kind of heavy. And the guy next to me was like, dude, he goes, you just walk up and start throwing that weight around and without even doing a warm up. And I'm like, well, yeah, because I've built up to this point, right? even when I dumbbell bench press, I do one warm-up set with like 50 or 60 pound dumbbells, and then I go grab the 90s, and then I work my way up to like 100, 105 maybe, right? Depending on how many reps that I'm doing. And I commented that on your video where Sam Sulek was talking about warming up his triceps for 20 minutes, and I'm like, dude, I have elbow pain in this elbow. And it stems from knots in my shoulder and stuff. It's been getting better. My elbow warm up is I literally grab like a 15-pound dumbbell and I just do this like 2 sets of 20. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, time to stop being a little bitch and get the 80-pound dumbbell and start, start getting after it.
Right. Yeah. No, I hear that, dude. Yeah. It's the idea that obviously you need to know your body. Obviously you need to work up to a certain point. And the only reason, just so the viewers don't get the wrong idea, when I talk about Julian here with Scott, when I talk about Julian on my channel, it's all relative to what he is. He's in his own bubble. You can see when he trains, he is a brand new beginner. He has no concept of form. He hasn't built anything up as far as like training history, knowledge. Scott's been training over here for his entire life practically, minus 12 years. You can't put what Scott's saying, in the same bubble as Julian, just so the context is there, because what you're saying works. What Julian's doing at the same time, while on paper it might look similar, completely different animal.
Yeah, and I think that's the hardest part now, Joey B, and getting back kind of like to the intensity problem that we have in gyms, and why those videos with the Diamond Gym guys were so telling is because a lot of this younger generation, their goal isn't to build a functional, strong body. Their goal is to look a certain way so they can get famous on social media, right? Don't get me wrong, that's not everybody, but it's a lot of what you see. And then even for a lot of guys, there's even kind of like an in-between where, yeah, they want to get famous on social media, they do, and they also want to be strong and functional. But for us, there was no social media. So like when we went into the gym, we weren't recording sets, we weren't posting photos. So it was okay if the journey took a little bit longer, because there was no race to try to get 1 million followers on Instagram and sell a program. And I think that is one of the core things attributing to this generation, like posting this garbage content. At some point, don't you want to push your own limits? Like I work out to push my limits. I don't work out to do bare minimum and leave.
That's the thing, bro. See, you just hit the nail on the head. That's the thing that many people are missing. Because it became a race, people don't care about the work. They're not training for their mental, emotional health. Like when I do a heavy set, I'm bringing up memories in my head of when I was like a little kid and the things
you stupid little fatty. Get you're thinking about people calling you fat. I'm thinking about my brother's friends kicking my chest in while playing football.
Yeah. And that's it. That's what.
And once they found out I started working out on the bus, they were like, "Oh, you gonna get big and beat us up?" Eventually, yes. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you eventually. Just give me like a year or two. I'll eventually get to that.
Right. I'll be spotting you one day, and all of a sudden.
By the way, I get along great with all those people, obviously, as I got older, but getting back to your point of like pushing your limits. So yeah.
So that's really what it is, bro. I mean, people don't have the incentive to train for the purpose of why training exists. Well, came into existence, in my opinion. People are posting to get the best results as fast as possible. That's both women and men. And men. Like you got women out there sticking needles in their arms. And hey, listen, if you want to do it, go for it. But at the end of the day, what we're talking about here is more along the lines of people are lost and it's a race to the finish line. No one cares about their health and nobody cares about anything besides the aesthetic. And not everybody's like that, but a large majority of the people.
I'll tell you what, the aesthetic might look good on Instagram and might look good like on YouTube, right? Crazy thing, I don't know if you saw my Instagram stories last night. I was walking my dog. I have a little Maltese. His name is Broly, actually.
Nice.
And I don't live in a woodsy area. I live in a community, but when I walk my dog down this path, there's woods and like a lake. And I was just doing my thing. It was 11 o'clock at night. I was walking my dog. I was on my phone. And I heard like grass being rustled. Like fucking coyote rolled up on me so fast. And the woods is 60 to 80 feet yards away. Like it's not like I was next to the woods. I was still in my community in the cul-de-sac, and this thing rolls up on me so fast, and instinctively, I know it's nighttime, that I heard a noise, and I picked up my dog, I turn around, coyote's right there staring at me, not scared at all. And the first thing I do is I start yelling at him, and I start like charging it, and I'm like, get out of here, like I'm screaming at it, and I could tell I confused it a bit, right? And I'm walking backwards, and it would start walking towards me, and I would charge it again. I'm like, get out of here, right? And I'm screaming at this thing, and I'm slowly walking back, and it eventually kind of like stopped. Wasn't scared of me whatsoever, but it had concluded that it probably shouldn't with me. Right. But again, my mentality in the gym, whether I was training to exercise, or I was, wrestling in high school, or doing my ultimate kickboxing in college, whatever I was doing, I was there to not just train and do the thing. I was there to push my limits so that I have the kind of functional body that I can take outside of those environments. And if I'm put in a situation like I was last night, or, maybe I get attacked, like if I'm out with my wife somewhere, I know that I have that strength I can tap into if I need it. How do you know you can tap into those things if you go to the gym, you're like, 2 sets of 10 reps, science training, and then you just leave?
But bro, the problem is that so many people, even people that I've trained, and I'm sure you have too, that's the thing. They think that was hard. That's the thing. And so that's the thing. They think I'm breaking my back in the gym, but they don't understand, like you said, the threshold is too low. So what Diamond Gym does, they increase that threshold. That's the idea behind them.
Yep.
What Hani is doing with Julian Fitzgerald right now, you can see he's trying to increase that threshold, it's wild, dude, because I just did a video on Julian, not to keep bringing it back to him. I know everybody.
It's fine. Yeah, it's
okay.
A great topic.
Yeah, dude. So I was like, I always say, just a quick, to preface it with, when I bring somebody up, like Julian, for example, or anybody, it's to try to learn from it. It's not just to bash the guy. But
yeah, it has to be educational. Yeah, there has to be some kind of education there.
Absolutely. And so like this dude is 7 minutes into the video, which means they were about 3 or 2 minutes into training. They're doing their warm up, and Hani has Julian doing pull-ups for his warm up, right? On back day.
Yeah.
He started complaining 2 minutes into training, bro. It's right there on the video.
You enjoy watching me get tortured. Y'all enjoying this?
You're just not used to working this hard.
This is entertaining. Every workout with Honey, man, it's just torture, bro.
What was he saying? You love to see me suffer. And he's not joking. He's not joking. You love to see me suffer. You think this is funny. He's looking at the camera. You guys find this funny. It's like, bro, your threshold is non-existent. How did you build what you look like? How did you do that, bro?
Because he's one in a million.
One in a trillion.
Yeah. It's interesting you say that, because I still train clients online as well. I grab a handful at a time. By the way, if anybody's interested, you can just comment down below or use the links in the info section. But the hardest thing about online training is teaching intensity.
Right.
And so a couple of my clients, one of my most recent clients, I've been training him for a few months now. His name is Enrique, and he had been following me for a very long time. That's how he reached out. He's like, hey, I've been watching you for a few years. I love your stuff. I trust your training advice. And so we literally took his program. I took out all the bullshit exercises that he was doing. Not that he was doing a lot, but I just got rid of a lot of the bullshit, and I added more sets to his compounds. And then I introduced doing drop sets on a few exercises. Like when someone's never done drop sets before, or supersets or things like that, I don't just throw it all in. But over the course of a couple months, I got him to a point to where I was having him drop set on every exercise. Because what I like to do with my programming is I like to do a lot of drop sets, a lot of volume, and then I switch it. And I've just switched him now about a month ago to no drop sets, but going heavy as like 6 to 8 reps. And that's what he was doing before. He was just doing really heavy 6 to 8 reps, but a lot of exercises, and his form was kind of whack, right? And he's so much stronger now because I taught him how to increase his intensity threshold by pushing through the pain and the burning sensation when doing the drop sets, right? One place where you'll feel it the most, it's actually one of my favorites, is like doing a reverse lat pull down on the cable.
Right.
If you go as heavy as you can for 8 to 10 reps, and then go as heavy, and then drop the weight and go as heavy as you can for 8 to 10, and then drop the weight one more time and try to do like 15 repetitions, literally by the end, your forearms are burning so bad that you're holding the barbell by like the tips of your fingers and it's about to fly out of your hands. How do you get someone to understand that that's an okay feeling from on video? It's hard. Right. It's a really hard thing to do.
Yeah. Normally what I do, if it's on video or even in person, I'll pop the camera up and I'll be like, okay, we already found your working set weight, what we're going to use. Yep. And now I want you to go ahead and give me as many as you can. You know, we're taking this to failure. The weight should cap you out at 12. And I just try to gauge at the end of their set, could you have done more? So like, for example, I had this chick with me the other day. I was with her in person and she's over here. We already did like 3 sets and she's over here on leg extension. At one point I was like, wait a minute, hold on. You're holding back here. What's going on? This is not like the first 3 sets. And she said, well,
you knew there was more sets coming.
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
Yeah.
So when you work with someone who's honest, which some people aren't. Some people will be like, no, that's it. That's all I got. No, I need to push you a little bit. But with her, she was honest and she was like, yeah, I could have did more. Do more right now. Don't ever do that to me again. You're wasting my time. You're wasting your time. Let's go. You push till you can't push anymore. And then we deal with the next set later on. That's it.
Yeah, no, 100% agree with that. It's getting people to also understand like, there's no magic. There's no like rule where it has to be 3 sets on an exercise.
Right.
Like I work out with my wife and she'll be like, I did my 3 sets. Oh, we're actually doing 5 today. She's like, why? I'm like, babe, there's no rule for 3. Like we're working really hard. The weight's moving good. In the machine I want to do next, someone's using it because the gym is busy. So let's just stay here, do a few more sets, go pretty heavy. And this is a better exercise anyways.
No, and there's no rule. There's absolutely no rule. At a certain point, you know, if you're at a gym, I like using electronic weights a lot of the time, so I can increase on a per pound basis, but not everybody has that ability to do. So, you know, if you got a plate that's 5, maybe 10 or 15 different pounds, you might have to do some more volume because you're not just going to stack it up to the next weight, you know, for progressive overload. You might have to do more volume, more sets, build yourself up to go ahead and be able to stack it onto that next weight to be able to get your working sets in that you want, in the range you want, you know? So it's like, there's no hard and fast rules. At the end of the day, break yourself with good, decent form, you know, push as hard as you can and don't hold back when it just starts to burn. And what you said, a lot of people, they're stopping as soon before the burn begins, they're stopping because they think that's okay. I wanted to actually ask you a question, get your thoughts on this.
Sure.
We've seen a huge movement lately of people, I think it's starting to end, where volume, excessive volume with low weight was a thing. I think it's dying down. And because that volume, you know, epidemic happened, the Menser split started to come back. The Mike Menser split.
I've seen that. They're comparing it to like Arnold. Like Arnold trained this way, Menser trained that way, but they both made tremendous growth in gains, right? Yeah.
Right. But I think they're melding it. I think because there's so much crap on the internet that you hear, sometimes you lose your way.
Yeah, so 100%.
I'm glad I'm making sense. I think people are melding the lightweight, high volume, or, you know, high volume 12 reps or whatever with heavyweight 1 set, and they're getting like 2 sets 10 reps. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think the issue is people like to use the word overtraining. If they knew how hard it was to overtrain, they would never say overtraining. Okay.
Right.
My threshold on what it takes for me to feel like I got a good workout is much higher than the average person.
Right.
Because I've always trained very intensely. I've always trained with a lot of volume. I've always trained utilizing things like drop sets, supersets, things like that, right? So if I were to go to the gym right now and do a workout, like 3 or 4 chest exercises, 2 sets, 10 reps, I would leave the gym feeling like I just did push-ups at home. Like I would not leave the gym feeling like I did a workout. But that's because my threshold of what my body can handle is up here.
Right.
And the Instagram, you know, Ken body dude who does 2 sets or 10 reps, his threshold is there. He hasn't broken through enough plateaus to get on my level yet. Right. Just like I can go outside and run 4 miles and get a great workout, A marathon runner is going to be like, 4 miles? Would you just start running yesterday? Like, that's not even a warm up for me, right?
Right.
I feel like it's the same thing. And we're just living through an age now where people want to do as little as possible and look the best. I mean, especially when it comes to like plastic surgery and liposuction. Like we see it across all these other areas. Now it's starting to kind of weed its way into fitness. And people are looking for excuses to scientifically explain why they train like a little bitch compared to someone like me or you that goes to the gym and gives it our all.
Right.
And again, it's not like, well, you don't have to train that hard to get these results. I want to train this hard for multiple reasons. Results is one of them. Having a body that's strong, that is still strong now that I'm in my 40s. Like, I don't have any tendon problems. I don't have any joint problems. Sure, I get little aches and pains like that everybody has, but I don't have any serious issues holding me back from doing anything I want to do in life. And I think, but this whole thing that you're talking about, because I'm seeing it too with the Mike Menser and everyone's trying to be like, whoa, that's all you need. Here's another part of the equation, Joey. A lot of these guys that are giving advice, and again, I have no problem with people that are on gear. When you've been on gear for a very long time, do you really know what the it takes to train naturally in order to maintain? And it, like, you can be the smartest person in the world, but to me, it's like an out of sight, out of mind. Bro, you haven't been natural for 5 to 10 years. Don't come in here trying to tell me what I should and shouldn't be doing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Sure.
I still live it every single day. Like, now I've been fasting for the last year, and I've seen these massive transformation in my body with fasting, right? If I was on gear and also started fasting, can I really tell you the same response?
No.
Because there's all these other things now helping me get certain results. So a lot of the information that's being given online, how do you really know you can trust that it works? Like, oh, I tried this, so it must work. Well, what else are you doing in your training outside of the gym that could be related to your results in the gym, right?
Right.
And that's the key factor. And that's why this whole natty or not thing got so, crazy, is because, sure, this worked for you, but it's not going to work for me. And it's not because your genetics are 1 in a million, right?
Right.
So there's a lot to it. What I will say, training the same body part multiple times a week. I've always been a huge fan of bro splits, which means you're not training multiple times a week, right? And I was able to build a phenomenal physique doing that. Now, however, because I'm coming out with a new program soon, I will be incorporating, a bit more of that. But my shoulders have always been like my lagging body part area. And so I'm still doing my traditional splits like chest, triceps, back, biceps, legs, and shoulders and traps, or whatever. But I'm trying to bring up my shoulders. So I'm throwing a lot of rear delt exercises in a couple more times a week to try to hit that area to spark more growth. And I might only do 1 or 2 exercises, 3 sets, 6 to 8 reps, or whatever it is. So like, there is room for, I don't have to go to the gym and kill this body part every time, but that also depends on what the entire workout's like. On my shoulder day, I'm destroying my shoulders.
Right.
When I'm training chest, when I'm done chest and triceps, and I walk over to start doing some rear delt exercises, I'm going to still go pretty hard, but it's not going to be the same full workout that I got on my shoulder day. But I just want more activation in the area.
Sure. No, that makes total sense. And the fact that you see the need for improvement and you have no problem making a new plan based on the experiences that you've had, that shows that you're growing, it shows that you're learning, and it shows that you have no problem teaching all that new information. There's a lot of people who will stick to the same information that they come out with. Let's say you started 16 years ago.
16 years ago, we were taught 90-degree bench press, 90-degree shoulder press, 90-degree squat, and then eat every 3 hours to boost your metabolism.
Right. Exactly.
That's what we were taught.
Exactly. And everything's changed. So if you're still teaching that stuff, sorry, bro, you're not learning. You're not growing. What are you doing?
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. No, dude, I think this was a really great first conversation. Just kind of, we focused on intensity, but we kind of got a lot of other things that we talked about too that I think are fun. And I think that, if you're watching this video still, you made it to the end, comment down below some topics that you'd love to see us collab on, because I think the YouTube fitness space could use more fun collaborations like this, where we just kind of talk about our experience and we can have other guests join us too and make it even more fun, right? Like that's kind of what I want to see. For the longest time, my channel was mostly just like education, which is great, but it's become a lot more of a community on here. And I feel like a lot of that community, like you said, is kind of lost and they don't know exactly where to turn to, where to go for the best information. And maybe we can provide that.
Absolutely. That sounds great, man. Yeah, this was fantastic. And I hope everybody enjoyed it. I mean, this was real chill, bro. Real chill. I loved it.
Yeah, dude, I was just looking at the time like, holy shit, we planned on 20 minutes. It's been 36.
Really? I didn't even know.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, man, I hate to stop, but I want to make sure people watch the whole damn video, and we know attention spans nowadays. So we got plenty more to talk about in future collabs. Guys, make sure you check out Joey's channel. I'll post a link down in the info section below, as well as my pinned comment. He's got a lot of great information over there. Yeah, dude, we're just a couple of kids that got bullied into getting shredded. So
that's it, man. Just as easy as that. Just go out there, look for trouble, and it's going to make you a man.
We might have to start a service where you can pay people to bully you.
They have it, bro. You just go to
really? Oh my
gym,
God.
or you go to one of these men retreats. You only got to pay 20 grand, and they'll bully you all day.
Oh my God. I'll do it for like half that. Pay me 10 grand, bro. I'm from Boston. I'll light your ass up on a daily basis.
I'm in Mexico. I'll take 1 grand. You know how far that'll take me?
Oh man. All right, bro. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. More great content coming soon. Joey, thanks for being here. Looking forward to another collab real soon, my guy.
Thank you, man. Good to have been here, and thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Take it easy, brother.